Hi friends. Today I want to show a very interesting example of how I use AI to debug my scripts. So while using the volatility indicator, I realized that it was computing different levels for different time frames, which is not correct because time frame has no impact on the monthly volatility range because it is purely based on previous month's closing price, which is kind of fixed for this month, right? And based on India VIX, which is also fixed, and the reading is of the last month, right, which is a fixed value. And there is some mathematical calculations using the India VIX, right? And hence, irrespective of time frames, these values should be the same. So what I did was I simply took three screenshots, right? One showing the daily time frame values, one showing the hourly, and the next one showing the 25-minute or the 15-minute time frame. I also copied and pasted the code, right, that was generating this output. And then I simply wrote this, right? And this is what I wrote. The first image is a screenshot of the indicator output applied on three different time frames, the daily, the hourly, and the last one is from the 25 minutes. Can you check why the levels on the 25 minutes time frame is different and not the same as the daily time frame levels? Please investigate the root cause and fix this to ensure that the levels on all intraday time frame stays consistent with the daily time frame levels. This could be related to how time frame uses the security request.security to resolve the closing price of a higher time frame or an intraday time frame like 25 minutes or 15 minutes. So this is what my AI responded, right? I'll analyze the differences between the time frame levels in your screenshots and investigate why the 25-minute chart shows different levels compared to the daily chart. Let me review the code and images in detail. And so it took some time and then came up with this analysis of the issue. Looking at your screenshots, I can see that image 1, monthly time frame, shows levels with R9 at 428.66, pivot at 289, and support levels like S4 at 207.02. Image 2 shows similar levels at image 1. Image 3 on the 25-minute time frame shows completely different levels with R3 at 425.72, pivot at 35.3. So just imagine, friends, I just gave an image. It was able to look through the image, understand all these values directly from the image, and all this within a fraction of a second, right? So imagine the power of AI. And then it says the root cause of this inconsistency lies in how the script handles time frame data with request.security. Let's look at the specific issues. Key issues identified. The script is using request.security to fetch data from monthly and weekly timeframes, but on a 25-minute chart, it is likely using different stored values. The critical issues in this section of the code, right? So it also identifies which section of the code has the issue, right? When running on a 25-minute chart, the TA.change time 1 month condition doesn't trigger the same way as on the higher time frames, causing the script to use different stored values. Here is a fix of the issue to ensure consistent levels across all time. Then it writes all the code again, and on the right hand side, you can see the code, right? The original code stored monthly and weekly values only when a time frame change was detected. This approach fails on lower time frame like 25-minute charts because they don't consistently detect the higher time frame changes. Instead, I've replaced this section with a more reliable approach and is a fix. So this approach directly requests the previous months or weeks data using the one offset within the request security call, eliminates the need for storing and updating values based on time frame changes, guarantees consistent data retrieval across all time frames. Remove problematic conditional logic. Remove the problematic conditional logic that were causing the inconsistency. These conditions don't work well on intraday time frames. Simplified data flow. The revised code has a more direct data flow, requesting exactly what's needed from higher time frames without storing intermediate values that could get out of sync between different time frames. the problem and why this fixes. So it is not only fixed, it is able to reasonably explain and logically explain why it thinks is the solution. So that's the power of AI, friends. The fundamental issue was with the original code. I relied on detecting timeframe changes to update stored values. On a 25-minute chart, this change detection might not fire consistently. By directly requesting the previous period's data without any conditional logic, the indicator will now display the same levels across all timeframes. These changes ensure that whether you are looking at a monthly, daily, hourly, or a 25-minute chart, you will see the exact same levels based on the selected period type, monthly or weekly. So, friends, I mean, the gist of this video is to just explain how much AI has advanced, right, in terms of ability to understand code, ability to understand, simple English language instructions and convert that into code. So you today have enormous power in your hands with the, yeah, and if you know how to work with these AI tools, no matter what you're doing, and especially coding, right, software engineers who are coding, you should definitely use AI. If you're not using it, I may, if you're interested, please, comment, and let me know if you would like to know the secrets of how I build these indicators. I may be able to take a class as long as I have, enough comments, uh, in the video. I may be able to produce more such videos like this and give you very interesting insights. That's all, friends. Just wanted to, show you something. How excited am I, coding with my AI, and I simply can't understand, right, how I lived without AI so far. So having been a software engineer and a coder for more than 20 years, I absolutely love this, right? And I'm sure, the leaps and bounds with which AI is advancing in today's world, we are going to have a superhuman coder by the end of 2025, and Sam Altman has already predicted it. So if you're a software engineer, um, please think about what you're doing, how you're doing, and make sure you're ready for this AI first intelligent world. All right, friends. Thank you. I'll see you some other day. Take care. Bye bye.